Our primate social matrix. Chimpanzees are natural politicians driven by desire for power. That was from a National Geographic documentary on primate behavior. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason! How infinite in faculty! In form and moving, how express and admirable! In action, how like an angel! In apprehension, how like a god! The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? That's from Shakespeare's Hamlet. We are primates, and like all primates and other social animals, we are driven by a will to rise in social hierarchy and secure our position. For example, a male adolescent rhesus monkey will leave its troop and travel to another troop of rhesus monkeys for a chance to breed with more genetically diverse females. In the new troop, the young monkey has no social ranking, and if he is accepted, he will start at the very bottom, like the new kid on the block. Before he approaches the new troop, the young monkey will study them from a distance for a few days, observing their social structure and rankings. The troop hierarchy is so exact, and this is common with many animals, especially primates, the so-called pecking order or social hierarchy, being this specific, in other words. The troop hierarchy is so exact that monkey number 27 can lord it over monkey number 28, just as monkey number 26 can lord it over monkey number 27. Higher ranked monkeys gain valuable resources, greater chances for sex, food, and offers of grooming and other services from lower ranked monkeys who will tend to be social climbers and court favor with the elite. The parallels to the human social matrix are as obvious as they are awkward to acknowledge. If we are honest with ourselves, we know that we are profoundly motivated by the social matrix. One of the most absurd self-deceptions is the commonly heard statement, "I don't care what other people think." This proclamation is inevitably made to other people to influence how they think about the speaker. Unless we are profoundly autistic or in a coma or some other extreme state, we care very much what other people think of us and how they rank us. Accepting the fact that we are powerfully influenced by the social matrix can help us from being ruled by it. A central theme of the I Ching is the need to achieve inner independence. Inner independence may not be a goal that we reach absolutely and permanently, but is more like a guiding star helping us navigate through the social matrix's potent and distorting influences. We are social mammals, so complete and absolute inner independence is extremely rare and not necessarily even desirable. A creative interdependence with others that enhances individuality is an attainable goal, however. The common fate, though, is to be ruled by the social matrix, and we see it utterly dominate people everywhere. In our society, few people ever recover from high school, and I taught in high school for 14 years, so I feel qualified to say that. So often we find people decades after high school still desperately trying to compete in various sex and power games, mesmerized by the celebrity parade, driven to be the alpha, or fatalistically convinced that they will always be the omega trodden on by the more popular primates. The way to deal with the primate social matrix is neither to pretend we are free from its influence, nor to submit to it and spend our days obsessed with our ranking and frantically trying to rise in the hierarchy. Instead, we need vigilant awareness of how influenced we are by the vast power of the social matrix. We need to observe ourselves and others like compassionate primatologists fascinated with the complexity of the social process, its myriad transactions, and ever-shifting equilibria. Mindful observation gives us a greater degree of free will and a greater ability to resist the tugging strings of that over-caffeinated puppet master, the social matrix. And I will just off the cuff a couple of things I just thought of, but haven't added to the card. We see that chimpanzees that may live in a rainforest are this way. And yet, I think that this obsession with our social ranking is actually enhanced in the modern technological era with social media. So for one thing, the fact that we don't live in small groups as we did during 99.5% of the time that human beings as a species existed, we were hunter-gatherers, where you saw people and you knew everything about them. You knew their grandparents because you saw the same people multi-generationally, like day after day in your small tribe, community, whatever. But we live in a world where we see, like where I grew up in New York City, where you're constantly, there's a constant barrage of strangers. And so this kind of makes you feel that longing to claim a place in a social hierarchy somewhere. And so that desire may drive you even more. And then with social media and people using filters to artificially enhance their appearance and taking pictures of themselves, you know, doing something that looks more fantastic than their real life actually is. You know, they take pictures of the best moment where it makes it look like they're having an awesome time. They will go through 100 pictures of themselves to find the one picture. I do this too, that makes them look better than they actually look, and so forth. And so what that does is it creates a feeling of being in an inferior place of social rank in adolescents or adults who view this social media, and therefore they will be striving to rise by putting up their own posts that does the same kind of thing. And this is also something that the people who design social media algorithms well understand. The purpose of advertising and many of these algorithms is to create suffering, because that suffering then motivates you to buy a product or a service or to spend more attention on a platform. So it's like an ad for oil of Olay that I used to see many years ago, showed like this older woman, and she has like aging spots on her hand, and she's looking at them with this grim, anxious look, and the caption of the ad says, "They call them aging spots. I call them ugly." Ram Dass, who commented on this ad in a talk about aging, said, they call them ugly. I call them aging spots. The idea is to create suffering, and then once you've gotten the idea in their head that aging spots equal ugly, now they're willing to buy this useless product, oil of Olay, whatever the hell that is, that doesn't even have not going to have any effect on aging spots. But with cosmetics, you're allowed to make any claim that you want. They're not an FDA regulated product as far as claims go. So we live in an era where the striving for social status seems to have pathologized and to become ever more obsessive. So be on guard against that social collective tendency so that it doesn't rule your whole life.